Have you ever wondered why your dog tilts her head when you talk to her? Or why he lifts his leg until he almost falls over when he's peeing? Our dogs do some pretty weird stuff, and they have some peculiar habits, but these behaviors usually have a purpose and sometimes some hidden meanings. Welcome to Pet Spotlight. We're exploring 9 dog behaviors, from some of the most common ones to some of their more curious quirks, and what secrets they can reveal. Have you ever noticed your dog cocking his head from side to side when you speak to him? There's actually a whole genre of videos on YouTube consisting entirely of sounds to get your dog to tilt their head. Yes, it's cute, and turning their head may help dogs to hear you better, but there's a fascinating hidden meaning here. One study came across something completely unexpected. Scientists were studying dogs who can learn dozens of words. These are some of the smartest, most gifted dogs in the world. They taught dogs different names for a bunch of toys. Some of the dogs were able to learn dozens of different toys by name. The dogs were given a name and they had to go to another room and bring back the right toy. Then the researchers noticed something fascinating. The dogs tended to tilt their head when they were processing a word before they went out to pick the correct toy. It wasn't a fluke either. In the study, gifted dogs cocked their heads 43% of the time over dozens of different trials, compared with just 2% of the time in the other group of quote-unquote normal dogs. The study concluded that the dogs tilted their heads as a sign of concentration, kind of like racking their brain to find the right answer. People actually do similar things like looking up at the ceiling or furrowing their brow when they're thinking really hard about something. That tilting head is almost equally as cute and lovable as when dogs crouch down on their front legs in a bow when they want to play. Dogs tend to do this with each other and also with humans when they're trying to initiate a play session. One study found some clever social implications. Bowing is a tool that dogs use to help clarify their own intentions as playful and not aggressive, because sometimes when dogs are playing, it can be hard to tell. It reassures the other dog that their actions are just for fun. But the bow is also an invitation. If the other dog bows in return or brings over a toy, then the game is on. If your dog bows at you and you toss a toy or initiate a chase, it tells your pooch that you accept their invitation. Bowing is just another one of those highly tuned communication tools dogs use to get their message across, not unlike tail wagging. A wagging tail is typically a sign of a pretty happy dog, but tail movements can actually signify a wide range of different emotions. Researchers have found that tails have a bias towards the right side when dogs see their owners. Why is that so? Well, in most animals, the left side of the brain specializes in positive feelings like love, attachment, a feeling of safety and calm. The brain, though, also has what we call contralateral organization. Contralateral is a word that means other side. So you may have heard before that the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body. And it's the same in dogs. So putting it all together, wagging their tail more to the right indicates more left brain activity and is a sign of more positive feelings. Basically, reading your dog's tail can give you a ton of insight into their emotional state. Dogs' emotional states are particularly frustrating, though, when it means you come home to find your dog has turned your favorite shoes into a chew toy. What exactly is their fascination with feet? A quick pause here to say thanks for joining us on Pet Spotlight to learn more about your pets. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to help us spread the word. First, the root causes of shoe destruction are important to think about. Boredom lies behind lots of destructive doggy behavior. Pups who are left alone for long work days with little stimulation tend to turn to trash can diving or closet scavenging for their own entertainment. Anxiety can also play a role in behaviors like destructive chewing. So then, why shoes? It may just be that they're convenient targets. Shoes are often on the ground already, they're the right size and material to chew, and they smell like you. Our sweat and odor are full of pheromones that make our dogs think of us. So really, don't take it personally. And if you're like my household, you'll figure out pretty quickly that your shoes have to stay out of sight. Dogs love getting that whiff of our smell from stinky shoes, but they also make sure to get plenty of smells straight from the source. Does your dog ever poke you with their wet nose? It's my dog's absolute favorite way to say hello when he walks into the room. First, those nose nudges might help say that your dog wants some attention, but it gets more interesting from there. Dogs also use their nose to figure out where you've been. Most people think that dogs just sniff around to take in new smells, but that cold, wet nose is pretty sticky, and scent particles basically stick to their nose. Your dog may then be able to get the smell into their nose better, but you've probably also seen them lick their nose after they poke something with it. Dogs can actually smell through a special sensor on the roof of their mouth called the vomeronasal organ. Getting scent particles onto their nose, then transferring them into their mouth to this part of their olfactory system using their tongue is a cool trick dogs use to smell up to 10,000 times better than humans. So that nose poke may be packed with information for your dog about where you've been, what you've been up to, and maybe even what other dogs you saw along the way. Now don't sleep on this next strange dog behavior. You may have seen dogs turn in circles obsessively before they settle in for a snooze. This funny ritual actually originates from our dog's wild ancestors. Ancestral canines like wolves spun around to flatten the grass and create nesting areas. And what else happens when you trample down all the grass to make a comfy bed? You scare off any critters like snakes or spiders that might be waiting for you. Wolves also did this to get a good 360 view of the area to keep an eye out for danger when they settled in for the night. So many dogs retain this instinctual spinning habit, whether they're outside, on the carpet, or in their plush doggy bed. This next strange behavior is probably familiar to every dog owner. You wash your dog and then suddenly they dart off and rub themselves everywhere around the house, or worse, outside in the yard. Floors, carpets, furniture, nothing is safe. This funny doggy dry-off routine happens for some special reasons though. When we bathe dogs, all their natural oils and residual scent pheromones get stripped away by the shampoo and the water. This leaves them suddenly smelling sterile and boring instead of like, well, a dog. Without their signature scent, they feel compelled to remark spots and redistribute their natural smells. Rubbing rolls the odors and oils from their skin right back up into their fur and onto the surfaces they rub against. So this replaces all those soap products with their signature scent again. Some dogs may also rub, simply trying in vain to remove the foreign scent of a shampoo and dry off faster. Rubbing themselves on the walls isn't the only post-bath ritual that dogs might have, though. Does your freshly bathed pooch ever start frantically scratching at the tile floors or the furniture? This post-bath scratching ritual calls back to their wild ancestors again. In the wild, canines don't have nail clippers to maintain their paws, so they nibble at the nail sheaths and they scratch on abrasive surfaces to help file them down. And a lot of modern dogs still have these instincts. Tiles, cement, or the dirt just feel good on paws. But why after bath time? It might just be convenient, or their paws might be particularly irritated or itchy after getting washed. Bath time is just a perfect time in a dog's mind to get some work in on their nails. Bath time aside, all dogs have some pretty specific potty habits. When it comes to male dogs, have you ever wondered why they hike their legs up like that to pee? Some dogs are so over the top about lifting their leg, it's a wonder they don't tip themselves over while they're peeing. When dogs urinate, pee shoots out in a stream that releases scent molecules. Dogs do a ton of communication with these chemicals in their pee. They can learn a lot from sniffing another dog's pee, like their mood, sex, health, and social dominance. And here's the other important part. Dogs have found that this behavior is actually hormonally driven. Male dogs might be trying to just advertise themselves around the neighborhood, like to the female dog next door. Lifting the leg enables them to aim the pee higher, disperse the scent wider, and establish status. Leg lifting enables something called overmarking, where a dog pees over another dog's spot. Here's what's interesting too, intact dogs lift their legs more often compared to neutered males. And this is the hormonal part. I had a dog once who was fixed as a puppy and he never once lifted his leg to pee. It's fascinating what our dog's behaviors can reveal when we know what to look for. A lot of those intriguing behaviors likely have deeper meaning behind them. So if you're interested in learning more, check out this video next on some of the hidden ways dogs communicate with us humans. Thanks for joining us on Pet Spotlight, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to learn more about your pets. Until next time.